is one of them. So sexual immorality is satanic worship. And you remember that when we are talking about the end of days, Jesus spoke in Luke chapter 17 from verse 26. He said, just as it was in the days of Noah, he said, so also it will be in the days that the Son of Man will come. He said, people will be eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, all to the day of Noah entered the ark. Then the flood came and covered the entire earth. How did the flood of Noah happen? The flood of Noah happened when men entered into perversion. You see that in Genesis chapter 6 from 1 and 2. The Bible said, and the sons of God saw the daughter of men that they were beautiful and began to have them for wife. It was just all about sexual immorality. Sexual immorality. And because of that, God had to destroy the world with water. So before we go far, if you are talking about immorality, let's understand morality. Morality is the normal and acceptable way of doing things. Is it correct? Moral way, just a standard, a given standard, either by a community, society, a normal way of doing things. That is morality. So when you are now saying immorality, it simply means the abnormal way that something should be done. Is that clear? So the reason why I want you to understand this is so that nobody will go out with a curiosity and begin to say, okay, sexual immorality. Does it mean that to have sex is bad? To have sex is not bad if you are married. Let me encourage you that there is a time for it. Are you understanding me? There is a given time for it, and that time is called the time of marriage. So it becomes immoral when you are attending to it unmarried. It becomes sexual immorality. So sexual immorality is very, very dangerous. God has destroyed the world, destroyed people severally simply because of sexual immorality. Look at what Jude said in Jude 7. He said, in similar ways, Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding towns gave up themselves to sexual immorality and perversion. They served as an example of those who suffer the punishment of eternal fire. So simply because they were doing sexual immorality, they were destroyed with eternal fire. Now, there is a myth I want to bring to you, an ancient mythology that has it that the ancient Canaanites and all of them, they served different gods and different goddesses. And these gods they served has a direct link with Satan, who is known as the sun god. And the way they serve this sun god in the demon, in the idols called Molech or Pazuzu, any of them, is that they bring forth either baby, newborn baby, to submit to the idol, or they get virgins to submit to the idol. So blood is involved. They give blood to the idol. And as soon as they submit either that newborn baby or a virgin, provided there's a blood, as soon as they submit, the next thing they do is that they go into sexual practices to consummate their worship for their sun god, who is Satan, to receive the worship very, very correctly. So anywhere you see the spill of blood and there is sex happening there, it is Satan that is being worshipped. It is Satan. It is Satan that receives the worship of sexual immorality. When you are engaging in sexual immorality, you are worshiping Satan. That is why anywhere you see the spill of blood or sexual immorality going on very well, check. Every other crime will be hide here. Like our city now, in Lagos. Check the crime rate in Lagos. It's very high. Our major cities in Nigeria, Port Harcourt, go and check. Anywhere that is termed cosmopolitan, check. The activities there are very bad simply because the gate opener that brings in every other thing, sexual immorality or the giving of blood to Satan, they are the key. They have opened the gate and every other thing, robbery, killing, kidnapping. And that is why the thing is on the increase in our world today. So this Satan has demons that it operates with. And those demons are called the incubus spirit and the succubus. It's just like the male and female of the demons of sex for Satan. So the incubus and the succubus, they just look at the males and females, they infuse themselves into them to begin to activate urge for them for sexual immorality. Now, adding to it is that the moon. So the moon is also a representation of the goddess in the myth. And the work of the moon goddess is to attract sex for the sun god. So the moon goddess is positioned as the wife of the sun. She's like the wife of the sun. So she has a duty, she has a duty of making girls look seductive so that they will be able to seduce male for them to have sexual intercourse, sexual immorality for the worship of the sun god. Are you understanding me so far? So it does that. So the goddess said that they poured their virtue, the moon goddess poured her virtue upon the cow. Poured her virtue upon the cow, then the cow is a representation of that moon goddess. That is why you see that the cow is worshipped in many religions. When you get to among the Lebanese, you see them, they worship the cow. When they see you hit cow anyhow in Nigeria, those in Lebanon, they are not happy. The Lebanese, they are not happy. They say, this is our God, this is our goddess. They even dress her very well. Different parts of the world has their own representation of this goddess. So you see people worship the goddess. They worship the goddess called, they call her Nendi. Different names for the cow. They worship because she's a representation of the moon that helps them in attracting girls for sexual immorality, attracting boys for sexual immorality. So sexual immorality is satanic worship. Is satanic worship. When you engage in sexual immorality, it is Satan that is receiving the worship. But when you are doing it in a space of marriage, you are lawfully married, it becomes worship to the creator of it, because it was God that brought the woman to the man. And the reason why he brought the woman to the man was for a mission. There was something he was pursuing. It was for a mission. He says, so that they multiply, procreate, and fill the earth. How many young people who are doing sexual immorality today really want to give birth? How many? So even on that literal ground, they are just doing it for the fun of it, and they are wasting that mission of God. So sexual immorality is satanic worship. It's satanic worship. You need to run away from it. So now, sex sin is the most hidden sin, even in the church. So you can see people who just finish having fun with themselves. They can just jump to the church, carry a microphone, and they are raising hand, they are singing, and they are shouting. You see many ministers who are involved in sexual immorality. They see come out, they carry a microphone, and they are disturbing everyone. So it's now the most hidden sin, and it comes in the guise of "I love you." So that is how they deceive each other. So you see the young boy will come to the girl and say, "I love you. I love you." And you are thinking, what is this person saying? And you see those ones who will even be composing song. Instead of you to concentrate and read your book, you are composing song that you do not even know. And you are just singing song that you do not know. You know, I just remember my childhood friend that we grew up together. There was one of those days, he just sat on top of our fence. And I just saw him. The voice he does not have. The lyrics he does not have. But he just needed to sing. Where are you? Where are you? I came and tapped my friend. I said, what are you doing? What is happening? He said he's singing for faith. The name of the girl is Faith. He said, I'm singing for faith. He said, you are singing for faith. You are singing for faith. And you hear in our stage, you begin to hear the things, I love you. You are fooled with the word, I love you. And you, a boy, you are using the word, I love you, to make fool of a girl simply because you don't know the weight of that word. The Bible said, if you know not God, you know not love. Why? For God is love. So when you are saying love, you are calling the name of God. Then when you are telling a girl, I love you, the essence of that word is that I got you. So how will you tell somebody I got you and it's with immorality in your head? It is satanic deception. It is with satanic deception. How can I look at somebody, my sister, and I say, I got you? Because God is love, isn't it? So when I'm saying I love you, I'm simply saying I got you. You know, if I look at a girl now, simply because we have scattered the world now, that word love has been battered, butchered, and destroyed, mutilated, pieces, and thrown into immorality very, very well. If I look at a young girl now, I say, I love you, dear. The rest of us say, But is it not scriptural for me to say I love you? Is it not scriptural? Is it not scriptural for me to look at a girl and say she is my friend? The reason why I will not be comfortable to say a girl is my friend, is simply because of the immorality that has saturated the space. But that will not be so amongst you. I say your mind is purified already. So I can look at a female and say she's my friend. I can look at a male and say he's my friend as a girl. And we are not having ulterior motive. We are not having negative motive in the heart. Because our kingdom is a kingdom of love. It's not a kingdom of lust. And that is the danger of this era. This era talk much about love, but they live in lust. They use the word love in their open, but they are dwelling in lust inside of them. What they are doing is actually described by the Bible as lust, and it is not love. So they begin to use the word I love you, I love you, I love you. You know, they just bring flower, I love you, and you hear the girl say, wow, really? I love you. A girl that was asked to go and buy Maggi that they will put in the food. The food is already cooked. She's standing along the street. And you know, when they are doing those type of things and they blocked her along the street, she just pluck one leaf. Instead of her to mind her business, she just pluck one leaf and she just get in like this. You tell me what you tell me now, let me go now. You are disturbing me. And the boy begins to say, you know, as soon as I saw you, my heart make boom. I say, wow. And I just said to myself, without you, I will die. You say, oh, you are an idiot. Big idiot. Looking for space for manifestation. How can somebody see you and say, as soon as I saw you, my heart make hukum, and that is freaking you? And say, without you, I will die. And he has not died before meeting you. So where has he been living before he met you? So they brainwash you and they use you and dump you. The next thing you come to us, you say, he broke my heart. He broke my heart. It's because you're an idiot. You had a breakable heart. So you carry the heart and give to a human being who can break it. Say, he broke my heart. I'm hurt. And we'll be thinking that you have learned your lesson. The next thing now you see another idiot will come from another angle, tell you the same story. You will fall for the same thing. Then tomorrow you say, he broke my heart. Is that heart is plenty. So 6 boys have broken it within 1 year. And you are still giving it to somebody. Can I hear you say, God forbid? Can I hear you say, Satan will not succeed over me? If you believe that, say loud, amen. So you see that deception in the space of the youth, using the word I love you. But again, remember that I told you that God created man so well. If you know what God created in you, you will cherish yourself. You will cherish yourself very, very well. He created man so well. The way he created your body as a girl, he created it that as soon as the opposite sex sees it attracts. It attracts. Now, that is a powerful weapon in marriage. That is supposed to be a powerful tool in marriage. In marriage. You as a boy, you were also created a part of you that if a girl sees, it also triggers passion in her. So that would have been a powerful tool in marriage too. But we do not understand it. So that was the reason why God covered it. Before he will send them out of the Garden of Eden, he covered them. Because you exposing your body is a catalyst for errors. Exposing your body is a catalyst for error. So Satan knows about this, but he wants to have them exposed. You remember I told you about trend, isn't it? So he wants you to have that body exposed. That thing that God covered in the Garden of Eden before sending the man away, Satan wants to uncover it. Satan wants the body to be open so that there will be sexual immorality. So how will he achieve it? He now decides to use the arms of entertainment. And the arms of entertainment are beauty and fashion. Part of it is music, part of it is movies, part of it is sports, and part of it is marketing. When you see the news today, anytime you are checking news, check. The news has to run within this space. It runs with fashion, it runs with music, movies, sports, and marketing. Apart from this, our news people, they don't have any other thing to tell us. So it is called the entertainment industry. And if you observe, the entertainment industry is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? Because it's a tool in the hands of Satan to begin to make man expose himself. And we are observing that what irritates God is now what man is celebrating in the world today. So how did he go about it? You are not seeing the screen very well. You see a very big flotilla. It's a flotilla talking about carnival. Carnival started in the USA way back in early 19th century. Early. It started in America in the 20s when the Americans will summon the slaves. All the slaves that were within them in California, they summoned them and they made them parade themselves. They come out naked. They just want to see how they are behaving naked, and they were enjoying it. They were enjoying looking at it. In the recent time, when they saw it, they said, no, we won't just leave this enjoyment to slaves alone. We also want to be partakers. So you now see the Americans, they also join them in celebrating it like that. They come out naked, they call it carnival. So they come out in that carnival and they are celebrating, doing that carnival. As they are doing it, nobody is checking anything. It's a time of It's a time that anyone can appear anyhow. So they can come out naked, they can do anything they want to do. Nobody is checking them. From there, the thing went viral. I'm telling you about trends. So the thing got to Brazil. Brazil will celebrate. Nobody is stopping anybody. Even the police that is supposed to be checking indiscipline, they are following. So it entered Belgium. Belgium celebrated it. They will do it. From there, it began to move. It moved. 1 week of liveliness in Carnival in Cambodia. It started moving. People were doing it in China, all over the world. All of a sudden, we saw it that it came to us in Nigeria as Abuja Carnival, and we celebrated it in Abuja in the year 28. The Minister of Culture and Tourism in that 2008 was asked, what will you do for Nigeria to improve? He said, what you need to do now is to introduce carnival. Carnival should be done in Nigeria. And how will they do the carnival? They didn't go to the mosque to go and select girls. They went to our churches. They looked for Sister Purity. They look for Sister Rapture. They look for Sister Righteous. They look for all those wonderful sisters in the church. They collected them and made them parade themselves naked in Abuja. All in the name of carnival. All in the name of carnival. So it became a trend. It's just a season of revelry, a season of bad living. And you see people living carelessly. Now understand, Paul wrote to the church at Corinth. He said to them in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 20, chapter 10, verse 20. He said, no, but the sacrifice of pagan are offered to demons and not to God. And I do not want you to be participants of with demons. He said, you cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demon too. You cannot have a part in both the Lord's table and the table of the demon. It was a time that the church was faced with contention on decisions about the things offered to idols. And many people were discussing, say, no, these things are offered to idols. And Paul said to them, he said, the idols you see, the idols you are seeing, are actually the making of the spirit behind the idol. He said there is a spirit behind every idol. Let's say, for instance, you are seeing this letter you are seeing. Let's say it's an idol. That idol you are seeing as a letter, that is not the main idol. It's the image of the idol. The idol itself is a spirit which must have revealed itself to its worshippers and said, make me in this shape. Are you understanding me? So just the way you are the image of God. Is that clear? So you are a direct representation of God. Anyone that wants to see God is supposed to come and look at you, and the person will see God. Because you are the image of God. So the things you see, the idols you are seeing, they are actually representation of the spirit. There are spirits behind the idol. There are spirits. So I want you to note now, if there are demonic spirits behind every idols, how come most of the idols that we see today, they are naked? What is it telling us? It is telling us that Satan is up to something. So you see most of the idols that the world have now, they are actually naked. They are naked. Most of the idols are naked. This is Krishna in Krishna temple in India. He's naked. And his maiden is with him. They are naked and they are frowning. This is Eros and Psyche. The idol Eros and Psyche, they are naked. They are naked. You just see them like this. Is called Isis. Isis is an idol. It's naked. Those that worship Isis is naked. This is Geisha. Look at Geisha. It's naked. Different idols in different parts of the world, they are naked. That's just the essence of these pictures I'm showing you, so that you understand. And when you are making your body bare, is actually idolizing your body for demon. So different idols, look at them in different parts of the world. In different parts of the world, they are there. They are naked. Shakti is naked. Ugarit is naked. Turiga in Italy, she's naked. Freja in Germany, she's naked. Wearing wonderful gown. You look at her chest, you can see her breasts are out here. Naked. Sophia is naked. Diana that I told you about is naked. Hesinagabad is naked. All the things you are seeing is a representation of her breast. Now she's just naked. Her body is exposed. This is Bali in China. You can see his bed. Look at the breast projected. It's showing you this is Cynthia. Cynthia is naked, facing the moon god. Inanna is also naked. This is Inanna. And this is where the concept of figure 8 is also developed from. I'm not saying it's a sin that God gave you a wonderful shape. But Satan is making many people who have that wonderful shape, is trying to make them believe that they are supposed to be prostitutes because of that shape. Some of you that are beautiful, you think that the reason why you are beautiful is that you are talented to become a prostitute. No, it's not a ministry, it's not a calling. The fact that you have big bum is not because God wants you to be a prostitute. No. So, but look at where they are amplifying it. Giving it figure 8. Everybody knows Feng Shui. Look at the naked. This is snake goddess. You can see that the snake goddess is wearing wonderful gown, but her breasts are out. It's naked. So different parts of the world. This one is Inla. They call her Mother Earth. Sorry, Gaia. Mother Earth is naked. This is Inla, the ancient Arab, where Muslim found. This was the idol that was where the Muslim destroyed and took over. It's called Inla. It's there. It's naked. The goddess is naked. It's naked. Different parts of the world have their own goddess, and they are all naked. Naked. I'll just be running because of time. Isis. This is Isis. Naked. And there are many names belonging to goddesses that we need to run away from.